What's up, Toxic here with Battle Bros episode 7. Today we're talking about Battlefront, and more importantly, the newest DLC that is out for Battlefront, the first DLC part of the Season Pass. With me today is Seb.
Hello. How are we doing?
Are you asking me or are you asking the audience?
Either. Dealer's choice. May the force be with some of you.
I am fine. No Savage today. He's currently at work, plus he probably doesn't care about this topic anyway. So, we're just gonna... We thought we'd do a show about Battlefront while we had the chance. It's an interesting game that I think... I want to say you either love it or you hate it, but then I'm like, I don't know if I love it or hate it. So it's like I'm just proving myself wrong.
So you love it, you hate it, or you're indifferent towards it. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, you could. Yeah, it's interesting. It's a game that came out around the time with Siege, Fallout, and itself. So it came out with a whole bunch of other games that people were playing, and I feel like people didn't either give it a... Like, I feel like it came out and it was like, here's a game that you can play, and then if you played it and you didn't like it, there was so many other things that you could go to that you just kind of forgot about it. And that's kind of what happened for me. Savage and I played it pretty solidly for about a week on EA Access before the game was actually released. Loved it. And then when it came out, it was like, I think Fallout came out the same day, or if not, like couple days before or something ridiculous like that. It came up very close to Fallout. That was like basically the point I'm trying to make here. And once Fallout came out, Savage and I would just play Fallout all night. And I mean, we'd get into a party, but we'd be playing single player Fallout. So it's one that I didn't play a lot when it originally came out, and I probably never actually got into it. What about you, Seb?
So, same as you with the early access, Sarah and I were just absolutely rinsing it. Just like we started off at 2 goes and swap, and we're upping it to 3 and 4 because we just didn't want to give it up at all. Became ridiculously obsessed with the flying the TIE fighters and X-wings and the A-wing because it's just so amazing. So we just sunk hours and hours and hours into the flight combat. Played a little bit of the Walker Assault and other maps as well, but it was really the ship-based combat that really got me into it. But then again, as you said, it came out in that weird sort of pre-Christmas, late November patch when you have all these other games come out, and I definitely got very distracted by Fallout, like same as you. But then again, when it rolled around to December and you had Force Awakens coming out, I'd spent a hell of a lot of time for Christmas locked in the room playing Battlefront and listening to Star Wars audiobooks because it became all Star Wars all the time.
And that came out around the time when you were not online as much and not doing things because of your own medical reasons and family things. But so I guess you had that time to play, and Star Wars did come up around that time.
Oh, definitely. So we were up staying with Sarah's family, and everyone was doing stuff, and I was not particularly well, so I was just kind of hiding in the bedroom and escaping into Star Wars. So it definitely served a massive purpose there, and I definitely put some time in. But since then, not quite as much.
Yeah,
I really want to be playing it all the time, but there's so many other things to do.
Yeah, me and Savage played a lot of Siege as well. We got into that, and the funny thing is, we're all before Battlefront was coming out, we were playing Battlefield, and kind of hyping ourselves up, because the DICE games were play Battlefield, and Battlefront's gonna come out, and it's gonna be amazing. And then, so we were like, this is definitely gonna be a game that we're gonna get, and we're like, we might get Siege. I was like, I probably will. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna get it just because. And then Savage was like, I don't know, maybe I will, maybe I won't. I don't know, I probably won't. Because of Battlefront, And then he did end up getting it, and then it was just all Siege all the time. And every now and then I would go back to Battlefront, and I'd try to keep up with the releases, because they have released a lot. I made a lot of tweaks since it originally came out, and I'd try to go back every now and then and play a little bit, but it was like I'd play a couple games, and I'd have fun, and I'd be like, well, Savage, you want to come and play? And he's like, you come and maybe for one game, and then just like be done by the end. And I'm like, well, it's no fun if you're gonna be here being a fucking downer about it, you know. I'm like, I'm not gonna play it, you know. I don't want to have to like convince you to play it. I just want you to play it. So we never really got into it, and that's kind of how games work for me. Is if Savage doesn't like it, I probably won't be playing it because we play a lot of games together.
Which is one of those things. A lot of games, especially multiplayer games, are so much more fun when you are in a big group and you've got the party chat going and you're trying tactics out and talking bollocks to each other.
That is my big issue with Battlefront. This is the reason why this is my most criticized thing about it. You have Battlefield where you're in a squad and you can do things in a squad. You can plan things out. You can, I'll go in here. You watch me. Blah blah blah. And you can have a squad and do all that stuff. Battlefront, you cannot do that. Like you can be in a group, but you can only have one partner that you spawn on. So already there's not really a squad. There's you and a buddy. If you have a group of 3, group of 4, a group of 3 is especially terrible because you're gonna have 2 of you guys gonna be partners and one's gonna have a random person, and then the gameplay is so quick and it's so arcadey that you can't be like, okay, let's group up, we're gonna assault this location. That really doesn't happen. What ends up happening is, let's assault this location, and then you meat grinder into it until either you succeed or fail. And that's the case. You don't spawn and then you go in a group. It's like, I'll spawn, I'll run in, you'll spawn, you'll run in, and maybe there'll be a couple of times where it'll be pretty amazing and we'll both be in there and we'll be fighting back to back. But it's like, you die so quickly, it just, on both sides, you'll get on kill streaks really quickly, but you also die really quickly. That you just can't do that whole kind of squad interaction. It's like you're both playing the same game. You might as well be playing in different matches because you really just can't group up with your friends in it for the most part. You can, but it just doesn't feel like you are.
Yeah, it's weird. The pared back sort of arcade feel of it makes it kind of instantly accessible, and then it does very much. I know this is a big debate that goes on. I'm intrigued in your opinion, but I do think the way it plays does harken very much back to the original Battlefront games. People disagree, but they again weren't the most tactical, mission-based kind of games. You do, it is just a war of attrition, like an Imperial Guard going through the meat grinder, as you mentioned. But it's tricky. It's a whole lot of fun, but
yeah, I absolutely agree. In my opinion, that was the combat from Battlefront 1, Battlefront 2, and if you think otherwise, go back and play it. You could kill people so easy and get on the biggest kill streaks, but you could also die really easy, and that's just like the way it is now. And I think where we get the from my perspective, what I don't like about it is it's not Battlefield. It's not a Star Wars skin for Battlefield. No. And I feel like maybe that's what people were hoping for and imagining, and that's not the case. And a lot of people that I see, and I see a lot of people posting, pictures of Battlefront 2 or things saying remember when this used to be Battlefront? It's a lot closer than you think. It really is a lot closer than you think. There's a little bit less content, but it's just kind of how things work now, in a sense. Unfortunately. But it is a lot like the original Battlefronts. It's less like Battlefield. I think I probably would have enjoyed it if it was more like Battlefield in a sense, where it was a little bit more squad-based and you stayed alive a little bit longer and you could,
there's
be
just
a little bit more
crazy
strategic.
things you can do as well that make the Battlefield videos and make things about Battlefield quite interesting. Are though just crazy set pieces you can set up within the world, and that's something you can't do in here. But I have to admit, I'm really torn on this one. I was definitely one of the people that was desperate for it to be a,
Not Battlefield.
but yeah, not Battlefield. Yeah,
Yeah, see, I love
it's
Battlefield,
my
so I
fault.
wanted
It's
it
this
to
guy.
be, but I can't fault it for not being Battlefield because it's not. It's Battlefront. But
Yeah,
at the same time, it's like you bring in dice to do it. You know, you can and you get people. You kind of expect that it is going to be Battlefield, but
you
it is
almost say
what
you roll the dice on dice.
it is what it is, and it is a great game. I think it is a good game. I think maybe at times it's a little bit too simplistic, like a little too streamlined. I don't like the pickups. I like the idea of like finding, you know, like you get the points where you're in like a hangar and you see the ships and stuff, but you can't jump into one. I think I would have been cool if like you're in the hangar and you know you jump into the ship and you fly out of the hangar and stuff, not like you just spawn into one. It's like a real big disconnect.
Yeah, even if they had those things like actually up against the ships, so you just walk into it and then you get the animation of you getting into a ship.
Yeah,
That would even put them more together like that way. Power ups are a big thing that people. There's a lot of debate about it. I definitely know. I was watching one of Donkey's videos talking about the hero spawns not very long ago, and yeah, it is weird how you can play for a long time and not become a hero if you're not playing obviously the hero modes. It used to like reward you for doing well, and you could upgrade yourself. That worked really well for Battlefront 2. It, yeah, it's a weird one. Power ups and things in
yeah.
in this game.
I Yeah, it is strange, and it's one of those things I don't think you can have a right way to do it in a sense because there'll always be a downside to it. I don't necessarily think this is the best way to do it though. I was actually a little bit worried because I was like, man, I need to play the new, you know, Hero so we can talk about it. So, and we got into my first game, and I was like, it just might not happen. Like I'm probably gonna play for maybe 2 hours. Like it might not happen. First game, everyone walked one way. I didn't know the map. I turned the wrong way, ran to a dead end. And I was like, oh shit. So I turned around, I was like chasing after everyone, and then between them and me spawned a hero pickup. So I was like, sweet. I get the hero pickup, and now they've changed the interface for it. When you pick up a hero thing, it's like they've changed kind of the interface for selecting who you want to be.
Yeah,
And I guess I didn't choose in time or something, and it defaulted me to Luke, and I was like, oh, okay, excellent. So I got the hero pickup in the first game with the Outer Rim DLC, and I played as Luke. And that happened. That happened twice.
yeah. I think I spent a lot of my time as Solo and Leia. Leia that seem to be not picked quite so quickly by other
Yeah.
people.
So I played two as Luke, and that was from one hero pickup and one heroes versus villains or whatever. And I was like, well, that sucks. Um, but yeah, I guess moving on more towards the DLC. Was there anything you want to talk about in terms of impressions of the game in general first before we do move on, or?
Um, I think it's something we can circle back to the end. I think we both said that we really enjoy the game. We'd like to be playing more, but I think we can mine into that maybe as we round up.
Yeah. So Outer Rim DLC is the first DLC part of the season pass, the first real DLC, I guess, because the rest were kind of like, we did plan to give you free DLC, but also people are hating us right now, so we're going to give you more DLC. And what they gave you was pretty good. They put up quite a few maps. They gave us new game types. You know, the game definitely has grown a lot since when it first came out.
Those jacking maps are nice.
Just you know, don't ask Savage because he won't agree with you. um, so the first DLC, I think, you get 4 new maps. You get some new game modes, some weapons.
Yeah, via the hut contracts.
Via the hut contracts. Yeah. In terms of DLC for games like this, it's pretty good. Like content wise, like it's not terrible. I mean, 4 new maps is 4 new maps. In comparison to another game we talked about the DLC for in a previous Battle Bros, Siege. The first DLC for Siege's season pass. Granted, their season pass is just gives you early access to it. You get the stuff for free, so I guess technically it's a free DLC. But still, it was like the first main one was one map, 2 new characters, the guns for those characters, and that was about it. In comparison to that, this is a better DLC. And I would say that this is a better DLC in the terms of you're getting more content. So if you are paying for it, you are getting more content, and I feel more satisfied with this than I did with Siege's DLC. In the same point, though, I enjoyed Siege DLC more because I probably enjoyed that game more. So you can't really...
Yeah.
That's just a matter of opinion thing.
Because also, like, I'm just looking at the EA page now, and there is, like, a whole bunch of fixes and balances and bits and bobs as well that go along with all the actual standard DLC items that are going on here as well.
Yeah, and some of the stuff
Like
was
lot.
free as well. I think some of the
Yeah.
content was released free as well. So new maps. What do you feel of the new maps?
I really like it. It's awesome playing around in Jabba's Palace. I'm not generally a big fan of the more closed-in maps necessarily. I do like being able to get out and not necessarily getting lost. But winding your way all around Jabba's Palace and even getting down to the Rancor pit and having all those levels there is kind of awesome. And just having Greedo and Solo battling it out, also with Boba Fett in Jabba's Palace, is awesome.
Yeah.
The Sullust one, I do like that big the big industrial kind of craziness of it, and the fact it does feel on a big size and scale, and you've got all the gantries and things. It does seem, however, that with the Sullust, with one of the Sullust ones for extraction particularly, there are positions to completely camp on a team's spawning point and snipe people to pieces.
Yeah.
But then the other Silas one, which is more the long, the straight out one with a kind of gap in the middle and the ways around the sides, which is often in the Hero Hunt one. That's great. It's a nice, good old long shoot yourself across the map, just have at each other with also a few windy corridor fights. It reminds me of, was it Halo Reach that had there was a big level, it's kind of like a small base, like right by the sea. That was a long ass big shooty level. It really reminds me of that.
Haven't really played Halo since 2, so can't help you
Okay.
there. I enjoyed the maps. I liked them. Thought they looked pretty cool. Yeah, Jabba's Palace was probably my favorite, just because it reminds me of Battlefront 2 as well, where they had like the pig alien guys running around with axes and stuff. But
I think I found they're called Gamorrean guards.
okay.
But I would be remiss if I didn't.
But I enjoyed them. Again, I think I kind of agree. I prefer big open maps. I prefer the larger scale games, but I feel like those maps worked really well for the game type. So I was playing the like kind of like a capture the flag or something. I couldn't really figure it out. It's like a defend and attack point in Jabba's Palace.
Oh, right. Yeah.
I don't know. I that's one of my things I'll get to later. I couldn't really figure out what the mission was about, but I was like, it felt like capture the flag, and that's how I was playing it. But I was like, this kind of works. Like, I really like how the Jabba's Palace was laid out. It felt really, I don't know what's the word. It just felt like kind of like it had been laid out purely for those objectives. Like it didn't necessarily feel like you'd taken just a section of the palace and you were playing around. It was like they had built that palace for some sort of gladiatorial, like, capture the flag event. And I actually liked that in a sense, where it's kind of like a mirror in a way of you have like a capture the flag kind of playing field. I enjoyed that, and I played the extraction one as well in Solus, and I thought I liked that as well. I think the maps did really well for the missions. I like them. They just felt really well designed for the missions that I was playing them on, and that's what I enjoyed. What I don't like about the new maps is that there's no like large scale maps. So there's no like the 40-player games maps. They're all like the small base games, which still have fun with the small base games, and I actually feel like the smaller ones are a little bit more fair. And like if you're looking for a more competitive, fair experience, the smaller scale is like where you want to be at. But for me, when I was playing Battlefront, it was all about Walker Assault, even though it's completely unbalanced. And
That's the most it's just the most cinematic and sort of crazy big Star Wars battles feeling, isn't it? We really want the immersion of something like Walker Assault.
yeah, and that was the one I felt like the most I could almost do more squad stuff because the games were a little bit bigger, and we like me and Savage did have goals. We're like, okay, we're not going to be able to take these down. Like, we have to start looking for the speeders so we can wrap their legs up and stuff. And there's many games that came down to us finding those and like dropping them that way to win the game, and that's what I enjoyed. This expansion doesn't have those big scale maps, but I still think the maps are enjoyable. I don't have an issue with how they're designed or what they look like or anything.
They do look good, definitely.
Yeah, they're real fun. And what's the next thing? I mean, the next thing that's pretty big when it comes to games like these and DLC is what do you get to use? Like what guns and equipment do you get? And they have added quite a decent selection of guns and then gadgets, but they've introduced it in a different way, where instead of being a certain level and paying money, you have to unlock them with what are they called again? The
hut contracts.
Which basically you pay for the hut contract, which is kind of like half the price of paying for the gun, like a normal gun, and then you have to complete certain challenges, I guess, like X amount of headshots, X amount of kills, X amount of kill streaks with certain guns, and then you get the gun. As far as I'm aware, that's how it works.
Yeah, and it's split between mainly pistols, sniper rifles, and is it what's the quick reload rifle things like flintlock ones?
The
cycling
cycle rifle. Yeah.
Yeah.
I at first I was like, this is kind of cool, like and then the more I'm thinking about it, the more I'm like, wait, I paid for this DLC. Why don't I just get these guns? I was like, why do I have to, like, I gave you, what, like $40-$50 for this DLC, all of it. Why am I doing these objectives and stuff? And then I was like, I don't really give a shit. This is, I'm kind of enjoying myself, like, trying to unlock these things, I'm aware that when I unlock something, my brain makes me feel happy because I'm unlocking stuff. I'm very much aware that that's how the system works. But I don't care. Like, I'm willing to accept that, and when I unlock something, I know that it's all just artificial and stuff, but I'm happy, and I want to do that. So I was kind of enjoying it. It was kind of getting at me a little bit at the end, and I was like, I want to just play how I normally want to play. I'm not one of those people that play Call of Duty and do all the challenges for every gun, so you get the max amount of XP, so you can get to your prestige, and and then you do it again, and then, you know what I mean? Like, you're always, like, changing your weapon because you want to get the achievements for it, get the max amount of XP. I'm like, I'll find my playstyle, and I'll just grind out. I don't maximize my XP.
So I'm the same on that. I like the bog standard blaster rifle, like the one you start the game with, because it just has the speed and accuracy and simplicity. So I was a little bit disappointed that it wasn't a normal contract, because like I did check it a few times. I'm not wrong. They're like, it is just for blasters, cycle, and sniper, right?
I'm not 100% sure. I know that there is a normal rifle you can get as part of the contract, but I don't know what you have to do to get it. I didn't pay attention. But yeah, it was. Yeah, it's one of those things that I think if, like, some people are going to be annoyed, and then other people are going to be like, cool, it's adding, maybe artificially adding, but it's adding something for you to do. If you're already max level and have, a shit ton of money and everything's unlocked, it might, they're probably looking for, like, challenges and stuff that they can do to unlock things. So I don't mind how they did it. I mean, again, some people aren't going to like it, but I liked it. What about yourself?
It forced me to use the old hands blaster for a bit, which was good. But like I said, I'd really like to stick to the normal rifle that I use. But it's nice and fluffy. You get a nice rendered Jabba giving you the missions in a very kind of uh, bounty hunter contract kind of way. So I like from that. More things to do are good, but I don't know about you. I either don't bother, I either refresh most of my challenges in the normal challenges, or just don't bother with them because I want to play the game modes and the things that I want, and I don't kind of necessarily want to be pushed into trying other things by the challenges. But then again, sometimes I do because I want the money and the XP.
I'd actually forgotten about that until you just said it. It's
Yeah.
one of those things that originally I was like, we have to do this. We got to do our dailies and stuff because I was like, I want to work towards that. I want to, do this stuff as part of the game. So why not, try and do it? And then I was like, nah, I just want to play how I want to play. I don't, if it takes me a little bit longer, who cares? What I was thinking, and this is kind of a crazy thought, maybe no place for this conversation, but I was thinking like, why do more games not have, and this might just be the division talking, but why do more games, even games that are not an MMO, like they're just first, third person shooters like this, have the MMO gear system, like the like you get your piece of gear and equip your character and stuff. I feel like Battlefront could have done that. You have your character, like can you imagine if they had like a division kind of system where it was like your appearance pretty much doesn't change, but like you could get little bits that would give you, a little stat boost here and there, and you could do challenges or hard modes and change your difficulty to get better types of gear and stuff. When you see it in Destiny, you get gear for doing the Crucible, which is basically just first-person shooter, but you get gear at the end of it. You can upgrade your character that way. Like, I want to see a game like I want to see more games do that. And I think Battlefront could have done that, and I think it would have been cool. Again, it's like going back to what I'm saying. Like, it's just a way to make hook your brain into like playing the game and trying to get more gear and stuff. But I feel like it would have been cool. You play a game at the end of it. You get, I got this piece of gear. I got that piece of gear. I got this stat boost. That I'm not going to use. That I'm not going to use. That I'm not going to use. But maybe you can get rid of them for credits. I don't know. I just think a system like that would have been cool. And I was just thinking about that today at work, where it's like, I'm surprised more things don't do that.
I think you're loot drunk from the division. What it is?
Maybe, but people like that. I mean, people like loot.
Oh, definitely.
So it's like I'm surprised more games don't actually do that.
And I imagine, but like I should say, they're staying true to the original weapons and this and that, and blah blah blah. But surely there would be modifications made for certain units and people. Are you telling me Han Solo uses a standardized blaster? I'm sure he's got tweaks.
Exactly, especially the rebels. Like they would all like have a lot of tweaks, and it's like if you're in Imperial, like I don't know, maybe you have a Darth Vader brand jockstrap underneath your armor that gives you some bonus to your accuracy. I don't know.
But yeah,
I think like something like that would have been cool. I think it almost plays into the contract kind of thing as well, where it's like artificially kind of extending your playthrough by making it kind of harder to get things.
That's all. Well, any challenge or mission or achievement is, isn't it? It's just giving you more to do and more reward for doing essentially what you were doing anyway.
Exactly. Yeah. So I guess the next thing would be like the heroes. That's what people were wondering is who's going to be the bad guy. There's enough good guys, but who's going to be the bad guy? So they've gone with Greedo and Nunb as the hero. Villain Greedo, hero Nunb.
Son Bijale Solo.
There you go. I thought Nunb was kind of interesting. I mean, I guess a lot of people probably don't know who he is. I know more who he is through X-Wing than the actual movie.
Hey, what? Spoilers for the Jedi, mate. Blows up the second Death Star with Lando. Yup.
Yeah, but he's just a dude, He's just like some alien dude. They don't really talk about him or anything. He's just kind of there.
He is just there.
In X-Wing, he makes my straight maneuvers green.
He also is around in Awakens. Just to let you know. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I knew he was there. I'm aware of him now, but he it's a weird choice. There's so many cool heroes. Like, where's Obi-Wan?
Yeah, there's
Probably
going to be
coming in the Death Star
yeah.
portion, but I thought it was kind of strange. As like, what about Chewie? Chewie would make more sense to me because it's like you have Greedo, right? You can't do Han because Han's already there, but you could go Chewie.
Definitely.
Because we know that Lando's coming in the Cloud City one. I mean, you can't not put him into the game at that point, right?
But Lobot, come on. How cool would Lobot be?
I don't know, Seb. I think you're just racist.
Oh no, I want Lando. I just want Lobot as well.
But
maybe it's the broken IG-88.
I think Bosk would be a cool villain if they added Bosk.
Yeah.
But yeah,
so I didn't really get to play with Nunb that much. So how did you find him handle him?
I got to play with Nunb, didn't get to play with Greedo.
Okay, I played a bit with Greedo.
I played Nunb once, and he survived longer than Luke. I swear his health is less than... I was dying so quickly when I was playing Luke. I was like, what is this? Like, I can't take a hit to save my life. Nunb I thought he was really fun. He's like basically a normal dude, but he has access to like your pickups as well as some of the star cards. He gets a turret, infantry turret. That's his Y. He gets a plasma pulse rifle. The one you charge up, does a green blast. And then he gets the little proximity mine. So 2 of those are pickups and one's a star card. And those are like his abilities. They're all like gadgets. And I was like, that's really cool. Like, that is freaking cool. Like, they could have just given him a gun and been like, you have a charge up ability, you have a rapid fire ability, you have a shoulder barge, But like, they made him like really interesting. And I'm like, I mean, that's like really cool. Like, he's like a kind of support character, but he's not like a Leia support character or Palpatine. Well, not Palpatine, but you know what I'm trying to say. Sidious. Yeah, where it's like you heal and you do other stuff, and I was like, that's really cool. I really enjoyed how he played. I didn't really do anything with him because it was in a heroes versus villains match, so you just get wrecked by Darth Vader.
Heroes versus Villains is just nuts, isn't it? Just a sidebar quickly on that. Have you experienced? Does the dark side? I know I'm more favored to the dark side, said the Empire and all that, but the dark side does seem to just absolutely pummel the rebels into submission.
It's a strange one where it's like sometimes it feels like it does, but other times it doesn't. And I've played probably actually Walker Assault and Heroes vs. Villains is probably my top played ones because I actually really like the game type. I like the dark side, but I don't know. I love playing as Han Solo, so and I wreck face as Han Solo. But if I get Luke, yeah, Luke's pretty hard to play. I like playing as Leia. I actually do like playing as Leia because I think her abilities are actually really strong when you play her right. Like, she can heal and shield and just stay alive forever. How many games have you played where it's like Leia in a shield healing herself and Boba Fett just flying up in the air until the game ends and it's a draw? Because I've played that many a times. I think the Emperor's kind of my least favorite hero. He's just like, when the game starts, it's him, like, all like shriveled up and hunched over, and it's just like he's like, "Oh, take me home. I'm lost. I need a poopy. It's like I'm wet." And it's like and then like you got Darth Vader and like Boba Fett, and it's just like, okay, come on, like, we'll take you home. How'd you get out this time?
Again. Yeah.
That's what it feels like. And then he has this like weird little jump that he like flails through the air, like, ooh,
His animation is weird. Sarah and I were talking about this yesterday. Like, he just hobbles around like a doddery old man. I suppose he is that, but...
And then every now and then he flies through the air like a jellyfish, though. Like... Yeah, flying jellyfish, you heard me. But, like, really weird. I don't like his abilities. I feel like his lightning just feels like it doesn't do anything, and then his heal is, a heal, so that's good. But I prefer the shield. And his little speed move thing is kind of as well. He's my least favorite. But I think Darth Vader is really strong. I'm not a fan of Boba Fett because every time I try to aim, I fly up in the air. They better fix that bug. I think it's just a weird mechanic. You go through the whole game like aiming down scope to shoot, and then all of a sudden you play a character that can't do that. Instead, he boosts with that same button.
I'm constantly throwing not grenades myself. I'm like, I'm gonna get this. Oh no, I'm throwing myself at you, M. Bison style.
I think the villains are probably stronger, but I do like the heroes on the hero side more, personally. But Greedo, did you get to play as him, or?
Yeah, I played with him. He's got some upgraded grenades, and he has like a precision shot ability where you can target a bunch of people. The similarities between him and Han Solo are kind of there because they are very similar sort of scum and villainous characters before Solo becomes a hero. It's fun being him. He doesn't seem to last very long. But then again, I kept finding myself. I hadn't really played the heroes versus villains thing until I started playing with the Outer Rim, and it just seemed to be kept jousting. You get into that room in Jabba's palace where you go up the stairs, right from the beginning. It just jousting there, and everyone dies.
Yeah,
it's just horrific.
I think you don't realize how bad the controls are for melee heroes until you're versing another hero. And you're just like, you go to attack, it's like, stun. Why am I not doing anything? I'm pushing the buttons, he's not doing anything. And just your health is going down, you're like, what the fuck is happening right now? And it's just like, what is that mess? Heroes vs. Heroes is sometimes the greatest thing, and it's also sometimes game-breakingly bad.
Well, it sounds a bit like we were talking about 30K the other day, and you were saying about it's awesome having Primarchs, but Primarch action isn't necessarily that exciting because they're quite similarly matched, and it doesn't go so well. I had another game where I was playing Jabba's Palace, and it was just a normal game. I got to be Darth Vader, and I just tore through, just 15 rebels just torn to pieces. You feel like a hero. When it's hero on hero, it doesn't feel. You don't feel quite as special. Definitely.
You also feel like the movie should have ended a lot quicker if that's how but it's it's
lots of debates about who shot first. Not both in the film, but in the game as well. Because sometimes people feel like they're doing a hell of a lot more damage than you are.
Yeah, I like overall. I like the new heroes. I think they're a good addition. They're both cool characters and they both play well. I didn't get to play Greedo, but I have seen his targeting ability and stuff. They both feel like they're not designed to go up against other heroes though.
No,
they would both be a nightmare against infantry, against just regular dudes. But yeah, I don't think they'd do well on hero versus hero.
Yeah, Greedo's out and hunting. I think would do well, picking off as a lone wolf, and then Nunb is really good at kind of reinforcing a position.
Yeah, it's hard to say though if you would take them over just Darth Vader or Han Solo.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Because Darth Vader is a boss. He's just he's pretty tanky. He just does a lot of damage. And then you have Han Solo who does a lot of damage. Is surprisingly tanky and he can just get out of the way really well. In my opinion, those are the two strongest from each side. Would be Han Solo and Darth Vader. So I don't know if I would take Nunb over Han if I had the choice, and I don't know if I might take. Personally, I might take Greedo over Darth Vader because I do prefer the shooting heroes. So I feel like I would possibly take Greedo, but I would not take the other dude, Nunb, over Han.
No, but then again, like you mentioned earlier, you've got to be quick on the left and right to get who you want.
Yeah, or in my case, when you just pick up a hero pick, you get defaulted to Luke because you're an idiot.
Yeah, there is that.
So, Any other things you want to talk about on the Outer Rim expansion?
Did you want to talk about the extraction mode?
Yeah, extraction mode, basically the push the cart thing from Team Fortress.
Yeah, but it kind of feels like a small, not as dangerous version of Walker Assault in its way, like a much more pared down.
In a sense,
You're,
yeah.
yeah, you're moving on those rails. It
It's nice. I like that game mode just in any game that it shows up in. Like, it's in Dirty Bomb, Team Fortress. Those are the two that pop to mind. Um, I like that game mode just in general. They kind of get close to it, push an objective. Um, the enemy gets close to it, the objective stops. Like a tug of war kind of thing.
Yeah, and it has something which I always like in any shoot 'em up is that you've got a focal point, which is the actual the relics themselves, and also you get to move through the level, which is nice because a lot of the times you have particular kill boxes in levels and you don't actually get to see much of the rest of it. So it's definitely interesting. It definitely gets ruthless in some of the Silence ones though. That there are some like really serious sniping spots. You die a hell of a lot.
I actually enjoy when there's spots in the game where it's like it does get a little unfair because because it's like now we have to think, now we have to get strategical, now we have to do something. So I actually enjoy that. Um,
I just flounder and go, oh no, I've died again.
yeah,
That's my technique.
and again, it's like just thinking about it now, like I am really enjoying maybe being able to play this a little bit more. Maybe we can get Savage involved, because if I look at it, and now that I mention Team Fortress and like Dirty Bomb, when I look at it more like that, I'm like, now I want to play it because now I'm thinking like this is just like a Star Wars, Dirty Bomb. This is like a Star Wars Team Fortress. That Yeah, that's kind of what it is. You got this arcadey, fast-paced shooter, Star Wars. I'm like, I could, I feel like with these smaller game styles and these new ones like Extraction, I could actually see myself having a little, not like more fun, but having, fun again in the game.
Was I think you've hit upon you hit the nail right in the head for me. With this expansion, I like there's new maps, I like this new mode, I like the new heroes and stuff. But the biggest thing for me, partly doing this video, but partly like shouting out for the season pass, is giving me a reason or motivation to play again. That's the biggest thing for me. And that sounds bad because I should be more excited about the actual content of the DLC, but it gave me a reason to start playing it, and I did have a hell of a lot of fun. It fascinates me between a hell of a lot of fun and putting in work because those hero versus villains, those rounds go forever,
Yeah,
forever.
it's I don't know. It's interesting, and for me, this is like the year of the season pass because I've never got into season passes before. Usually, I play a game, and by the time the DLCs come out, I don't care enough to pick it up. I really enjoy Far Cry games, and I play them and I finish them, and then by the time the DLC comes out, I don't care. I'm not going back to it. Um, I say this is the year for the season pass. I guess most of these games came out last year, but all the season pass content is coming out this year. Um, but Fallout just dropped. Siege dropped last year. Battlefront's dropping now. We got the Division. There's 4 games on my list that I have to. It's getting to the point where games are no longer. I'm in America right now, so $60. Games are no longer $60; they're $100 because I buy the season pass, and I'm okay with that. I think if I can afford that at the time, I'm okay with that because the way I usually play games, I buy a game, I play it, and I trade it in when I buy another game. So it's like I get a little bit discount every time. That's just how I look at it. I don't buy digitally because I want to be able to trade it in. Yeah, there's the whole thing, GameStop only gives you $10 or whatever. In my opinion, it's really not that bad if you are doing it my way because you're always trading in a new game, so you are getting a little bit more for it. But it's not the case anymore because I have been buying these season passes. So I got Fallout, and I'm like, okay, I know Fallout DLC is going to be good. season pass, bam, and that's where it started. Then Battlefront, I was like, okay, Battlefront, I gotta get the season pass for Battlefront because it's Star Wars. So I got that, and then Siege was a mistake because I sent Dana to go pick up Siege, and she just bought it automatically because I did for the last 2 games. She's like, I thought you would have wanted it, and I was like, yeah, but the Siege stuff is free anyway. You know, it's just instead of paying in-game money through games, you just get it straight away. So I was like, whatever. I got that one as well. So it forced me to go play it, whatever. And then the next game, Division, I was like, yeah, why not? I've done it 3 times now, make it 4, and I kind of been enjoying it because every now and then I'll just go on Google and be like, Fallout 4 DLC, Battlefront DLC, see what the latest rumors are, see what's going on with that. And it actually felt, even though I've paid more money, I feel like I'm getting more money, in a sense. Not even
keeping the game alive.
Yeah, not even that I'm playing it more. It's just that I'm more involved with it. I'm spending my time looking at rumors or stuff like that. It's just kind of exciting, and it's like another little release. It's like you kind of like, oh man, it came out today. Now I get to play it. I'm actually kind of excited right now because I haven't started the Fallout 4 DLC. I installed it. It's ready to go. I got the quest, and then I was like, I'll wait until there's a time where no one's online and I'll play it. And I'm kind of looking forward to that. I don't know when I'm going to play it because I got so much stuff that I need to do in terms of painting and playing other games, but I'm excited for that. So a little bit off topic, kind of a little bit on topic. We are talking about DLC and stuff. What are kind of your thoughts on that?
See, I agree with you. Like I was saying, this is giving me a reason to start playing Battlefront again. Like it's nice keeping the games alive. With the varying amounts of things being added to it, it's always good to keep you playing, keep you interested, and make you come back. The double-edged sword with that though is that a lot of the games you mentioned. I'd throw the Witcher in there as well. You've got these games that you're not going to get rid of because you're getting the season pass, because there's more content coming, and they're such great games that you just don't necessarily want to get rid of because you will play through them again at some point. I also seem to find that they sit there going, you're not going to sell me, you're not going to trade me in, so why bother playing me? There's other things to do. Go do something else. I'm going to be here for you.
See, I can see that, but that's not me. Like, if a game looked up at me and's like, you're not going to trade me in, I'll be like, just watch me. And then I'll trade it in. It'll be gone. Like, I have a very small collection of games. I maybe have max 5 at a time. One of those is gonna be Madden. Yeah. I'll always have Madden, and then I'll always have, well, not always, because there'll probably be another one, but Grand Theft Auto. Like, that'll sit there because it's Grand Theft Auto, so that one will sit there. But the other 3, like, those slots are open. Like, you better watch yourself, because if you're done, and I don't have the season pass, you're going to trade it in. Like, for sure. I don't play games more than once. If I finish the story, I won't go back and play it.
Toxic don't play games.
Yeah,
Remember that, people.
except for Fallout. I played that one like 3 times now. But that's a little bit different. But most games, I won't go back and play. If they're not like an RPG where you can, where you make your own character and you can change the story or play differently. Like, I won't go back and play it, and even then, sometimes I won't go back and play it. I mentioned Far Cry. Like, the story is pretty much solid on that. I won't go back and play through that again, and I wouldn't go back and play through an Assassin's Creed game again. If I played The Witcher, I probably wouldn't even go back and play The Witcher again because it's an RPG, but it doesn't have that custom aspect where it's like your character.
Yeah, I just loved The Witcher 3 so much. I fought the frog. I have barely got through the intro of the DLC, and I need to get on with it. Just too many other distracting things.
Yeah, what a time to be alive, right? But
oh yeah, I'm complaining because I've got so many awesome games to play. I'm not bothered playing them. Life is hard, guys.
It is hard.
It is hard.
It really is, but it's a new thing for me is season passes and DLC, because normally I just don't bother with them. I think really the only DLC that I do bother with is Skyrim and Fallout, and that's because like a year after their release, you could pick them up for like, you know, $5 on Steam or something ridiculous like that.
And also, Bethesda do not fuck around when it comes to DLC. Like,
Absolutely, yeah. Like it's a game in itself to a point.
maybe Hearthfire is not the most exciting thing in the world, but it does add a hell of a lot of bits and bobs you can do.
I enjoyed it for what I played. I kind of enjoyed it, but
Gives you a reason to all the loot and stuff you grab.
I am also strange because I enjoy like the farming aspect of games and the building houses and stuff. Like, you know, that's my thing. But yeah, but any other words on like Battlefront or anything before we kind of want to wrap things up?
Oh yeah, we were talking about Battlefront, weren't we?
Yeah, we were apparently.
It's Star Wars. It's great fun. I just need to play it more, and we need to organize some more play together because I do love it. It's just sitting there knowing that I'm not going to get rid of it, so I'm less motivated. But it's awesome, and they have really captured the Battlefront and Star Wars aspect, and I just look forward to seeing that expand and grow with the other DLCs, and then get to space. God damn it!
Yeah, it's a game that I love to hate to love. Like, I love it because I do think it's a good game. You take it by itself, good game. I hate it because it's like I just want to get addicted to it, and it's not happening. It's like I'll play it and I'll enjoy it, and I'll be done. And then I'll love it again because it's like if you say something bad to it, I'll defend it because I don't think it's like, you know, that bad. Savage. So it's like it's this really weird game where it's like I like this game. Would you play it? It's like, no, I don't play it. What, are you crazy? So yeah, I would like to get into it more. I really, really would, and I hope I will. But probably not. I mean, we'll probably play a little bit.
Definitely when the Death Star comes. Definitely.
Yeah, well, I mean, the thing is now that makes it also hard is that Savage doesn't have the DLC.
Yeah.
So it's like, and it's not a cheap DLC. Like, it's not one that you're just gonna be like, I'll pick up whatever. If I don't like it, I don't like it. Like, it is like, you have to be willing to throw down that cash.
Actually, that's a point I was going to say. If I wasn't getting the season pass because I wanted all the things as soon as I can, and we weren't going to be doing this video and playing together, I don't know if I would have thrown the $15, 15 quid, whichever it is, for this one specifically, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But would you have gone straight for it if it wasn't like a season passy thing?
If I didn't have the season pass and I was just going to buy this one? Probably not, because I wouldn't be playing it, you know?
Yeah.
Maybe with the videos. You know, maybe. But I don't know. It's like, it's a game I want to play so much that maybe I would have. But right now, with all the painting that needs to be done, and all the other games that we could be playing and enjoying, probably not. But I got the season pass, and I don't regret it. If you're like, would you go back and not get the season pass? No, I'd get it because, you know, I've put in. Even though I haven't enjoyed it to the extent that I would. Let me finish. To the extent that I would have hoped for, you know, I have still enjoyed it, and I have still put a lot of time into it. I haven't enjoyed it to the extent that I was hoping. I was hoping it was going to be like the next coming of Battlefront 2 for me, like that a game that I would put in that much time and just fall in love with that much. But, you know.
I just the image of now the Emperor just holding you in the chair, forcing you to play the game. Yeah, Doctor, let the hate flow through you.
That's what it feels like sometimes, though. It really does, when you're just like, you know, you die a couple times in a row, and you're just like, what am I doing here? Like, what am I doing? And I think
those death streaks are disheartening.
I think that's like Savage's biggest issue is like the death streaks, and I think that's what gets him most in games, and probably why he can stand Siege, because when you die in Siege, you have to wait for everyone else to die, so it gives you enough time to cool down and not just, you know, die again. But yeah, it is a thing. It is a game.
It is a thing.
honestly, the hardest game I can think of is if you say, "Is this a good game or not?" I I'm like, "Yeah, it's a good game. Should you play it?" Fuck if I know. I don't know. Like maybe. I like it, but I don't play it. So take that for what you will.
Yeah, I want to play it.
I want to play it. Yeah. I want to play it. It's like, well, why don't you? I don't know. Because then I have to play it. Like, I don't play it because I want to play it, but I don't play it because I don't want to play it.
Yeah. The Battlefront quandary.
I don't know. It's... Yeah. Because I see these people playing that already have everything unlocked, and I'm like, I want to be you. But... not really. Like, I want to be like that person. I want to go in there and I want to, like, just spend... I want to spend, like, I'm coming into my weekend, right? So I want to spend, like, that weekend just unlocking everything and enjoying it, but I probably won't, and that's disappointing.
Yeah.
But I could probably put in an hour and enjoy that hour, you know? So it's like what I'm saying, like, I will enjoy it, but not to the extent that I wish I could enjoy it. So,
yeah.
There's that. You know.
So we're mixing the whole thing, but Star Wars, yay!
That's the thing. It's Star Wars. If this was another game, a fresh IP or something, I probably wouldn't be playing it.
Yeah, that's true.
In saying that, if it was a fresh IP, it probably would be more interesting. I don't want to say this is a boring game, but like a fresh IP would probably do something a little bit more to draw you in. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think though I felt the same kind of thing with Titanfall after a while. Like I played a hell of a lot of Titanfall when it first came out, but then you just didn't go back to it so much. But,
So I went back to Titanfall. I got Titanfall on PC. I played it. I enjoyed it. Then I got an Xbox One, and I got it on that, and I played it, and I enjoyed it. And then it came out on EA Access, and Savage got it, and we played it, and we enjoyed it. But it was like one of those ones where we'd go on, we'd play it, and it'd be fun. But we never really got like fully into it. But It was interesting. Like, you know, you're playing it and it was interesting because you could wall run and jump and get into your big mech and stuff. Where it's like Battlefront, I enjoy it while I'm playing it, but sometimes it's a little boring. You know, it's like, it's just, it's Battlefront, you know? It's like, we know what Battlefront is. We played it years ago. That's what it is now. And it's maybe even less that now, you know? Because it is a little bit more streamlined now. So... take that for what you will. This game real depressing now. Like, I don't like this game.
Maybe we should, we should start wrapping this up.
Yeah, Star Wars Battlefront. Why it's all your fault?
I don't even know anymore.
So yeah, let's wrap this up and
spare the prequels. That's my official stance.
Now I wish Savage was here. So that's kind of our thoughts on the game. You know, take that as what you will. I hope you're as confused as we are right now on how we feel about the game. And after watching this, you're probably like, well, you guys didn't help me. Now, I still don't know if I want to get it or not. But, you know, that's alright. We're like that too. So yeah, AliesandX.com for all geeky gaming goodness. With me today was Seb.
It's been a pleasure, I think.
Yep. I think I'm toxic.
Tatty, bye?
Yep. As always, have a good one.